the way he actually marks up his channels and marks up his charts is I created a Google sheet tracking every single day and every single trade that he took. So that way we reserve capital and we're not losing trades that we could have just simply avoided by knowing simple information like this. Yo boys, today is another video, but this time it's a little bit different. If you've been keeping up with the live trading room, today Mamba took 0 trades.
I don't like the way it's moving. I don't like the way this candle's forming. I don't like the fact that we have a lot of news today. Yeah, we're not taking this trade. Are you kidding me? Flash services. I would have, yeah.
Today you're getting a full video on the one secret that keeps Mamba keep on winning, that it doesn't show on the YouTube, but it shows in the live trading room. But today I'm here to show you guys what you don't see, the behind the scenes. But if you don't give a I'll see you next Monday for the next video, for the next live trading day with Mamba. Besides that, let's get into the video. And sub the up if you haven't already. We just hit 2,000 subscribers, so big up every single one of you. Boys, I hope you enjoy it. Another day, another dollar. Let's go. Oh wait, your laptop's there. Right then. It's cool, do whatever. Alright, yo then boys, another day, another dollar, new video. Today I want to speak on MambaFX's Fibonacci settings. So a lot of you ask me about this. For those that don't already know, MambaFX uses these Fibonacci settings for every breakout trade that it does in the live trading room.
And
So for you guys that are not in the live trading room, what you see on the YouTube videos is
for 2 days.
Mamba's broker. Now he uses liquid brokers, and this is all you guys see. But the way he actually marks up his channels and marks up his charts is something that you don't see. So the thing that you boys don't see is in the live trading room, is Mamba uses these Fibonacci settings in every trade that he takes, as you can see. This is what we guys see in the live trading room, and these are the levels that he uses. Now, when you first look at this, you're going to see levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to be like, okay, and you're going to think that's a ratio 1, that's 2, that's a 1 to 3R, 1 to 4R, 1 to 5R. But no, if you look closely, I mean, definitely between the 4th and the 5th line, there's a big space. Now, with good reason, because every single one of these levels is not a 1 to 2, or a 1 to 3, or a 1 to 1, or a 1 to 4. So just for a quick understanding, the first level that a lot of people may think, oh, hit a 1 to 1. Nope, it's actually around a 0.83. And you might be confused, you might be like, what, why? Now, this is the level that Mamba tells us in the group to put stops to break even at this level. Also, take a partial, take 30 off the 50% partials. Now, I give away these Fibonacci settings in my description of every single video just because I'm a sick cunt. But I have a lot of people ask me, like, why are the levels why they are? Because obviously, if someone's grabbed these levels and they mark up and do what I've just done and realize it's not a 1 to 1 or a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 through to 5, they're going to question, right? And me too included. So rather than just like taking these settings blindly and going with them every single day, I wanted to get a full understanding of why these levels are why they are. So what did I do? So here's what I did. I just simply asked ChatGPT. So this Fibonacci level setup that Mamba uses is used unlike the standard Fib settings. These are custom levels tuned for breakout to continuation behavior, particularly in momentum markets like NAS 100, US 30, where retracements are very shallow and impulsive moves drop in clean legs. Here's what each level likely represents. If we look at our chart, this is the white line, right? The 0.83, this is our first entry zone. So this is our entry / confirmation zone, but also rejection zone, right? Price falls here often after a breakout, falls here often after a breakout, but also ideal rejection point. Hence fake outs, hence reversals, right? It often lines up with liquidity sweeps before the real move. Target 1. Now, this is where people get confused very quickly. They think, oh, target 1, a 1 to 1, 1 to 1R. Nope. It is actually around a 0.82, 0.83. Not even a full 1 to 1R. So now you're going to ask yourself, why is this the case? And this is what I was asking myself. And essentially, 0.688 is target 1. This is usually where price pauses or retests. You'll notice reactions here if volume drops. Smart spot to start taking partials between 30 and 50%. Mamba tells people in the group to enter 2 trades at half lot size and take out the first entry here. Often aligns with micro structure breaks or retests. So essentially, this is a very, very clear area where a reversal could quickly happen. So it's very common for a breakout to happen, but it can also be a reversal from this area. So we want to pay attention to that. Hence why we want to put our stops to break even once we enter and it hits target 1. Because once it hits target 1, more than likely if it reverses back up to our entry, it's going to reverse and the trade's going to go in the opposite direction. That's what's going to be common cause there. Hence, putting stops to break even avoids this. And so that way we reserve capital and we're not losing trades that we could have just simply avoided by knowing simple information like this. All right, target 2. Now, if we look at target 2 and we scroll this down, target 2 is around a 1.66, not a 1 to 2R. So why is this the reasoning? Target 2, the 0.556 level. Strong institutional level, target level, used by algos as a midpoint target. Not always clean SR, but price respects it. This is where trailing a stop loss may begin. Now, target 2, just for reference, in Mamba's trades, whether you're watching him live, whether you're watching him on YouTube, whether we're in the live trade with him, target 2 is usually where he exits full amount, usually, consistently, which what I found. So look, boys, I'll show you how I know this. Now, Mamba started a series, right, at the beginning of this year. Bro, no one else is fucking doing this shit or showing you this shit. If you weren't already subbed, are you retarded? Are you fucking silly? Like, boys, no one else is going to these levels to give you this sort of information about you. Bro, Mamba started a live trade. Mamba started a 5 to 100k trading project at the beginning of the year. He's recently just done one, but he did one back in like January, February time, where he took like around $5,000 to $8,000 up to 100k. And I basically went through all of the recordings in the live trading group that I was in at the time. So here we are. He started a series back 5 months ago, right? Starts a small account. This is literally 5 months ago. And I watched every single one of these videos, right? And I went in onto I didn't only just watch the YouTube videos, but I cross-referenced them with the actual live trading room recordings. I tracked what his lot size was. So I'd come on here, look, he started with around $8,000, $9,000. I paid attention to the lot size that he was entering.
On the account now.
Right, paid attention to the lot size in each video. And then what I did is I created a Google sheet tracking every single day and every single trade that he took, what pair he took, the lot size that he took, and the TP that he took. Now, since we're talking about take profit zones, how do I know that when he usually exits at TP2? I'll tell you, because I tracked every single fucking one. If you haven't subbed already, you better click the fucking button, all right? Yeah. Look, boom. TP2, 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 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2. Like, it's usually around that 2 level, right? Boom. Just me backing my point. So this is the level Mamba typically usually gets out, right? Let's get to target 3. Target 3 is a 2.5 RR. Look, so what is target 3? Target 3, look. This is the 0.411 level, and this is a deep continuation zone. Momentum move typically stalls here if it's going to reverse. If you hold a runner, this is a clean zone to lock in gains or tighten a trail, right? Meaning if we're trailing our stops, this is where we want to begin to make it tighter. So rather than maybe beginning of the trade, it's, you know, an hour apart, we're going to start to make it 0.5 hour apart or even closer, right? Because this is a point where it's going to start to look into reverse. Now 0.27, this is TP4. Now, before we get into it, what is this? TP4 is around a 3.35R, okay? Now, knowing this is a deep expansion level where breakouts often complete full measured moves, price may stall or reverse here, and it's a great final TP, or last 10 to 20% runner can go and scale out from here. Okay, cool. So now knowing this is just in like the past like weeks or so, like in the past like 1 or 2 weeks. And then finally, target 5. What is a target 5? A target 5, as you know, is indeed a ratio 5. Okay, it's the only line, it's the only take profit zone in the entire Fibonacci that Mamba uses that is actually like a rounded 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5R, right? It's the only one that's rounded and makes sense at first. But essentially, this is the exhaustion zone. This is the max move, complete fib range moved, measured move. Rarely hits clean, but if it does, usually signals the end of a move. And use this for last runner's exit. Okay, cool. Now knowing this and having an understanding of what each level means, right? Okay, TP1's the retest area. Might want to put stops to break even because of this area. This is where we want to maybe start taking partials because, you know, price respects it. It's a very strong point where price respects it and used by algos for midpoint targets. Target 3, deep continuation area. price typically stalls here. Why do we want to know this stuff? Because now going in our trades, now knowing this and understanding this, moving forward, we can have a better understanding of why we're doing what we're doing. And that's really important to me. So hence why I do such thorough research and go into detail with these things. Now knowing that, let's look at some previous data, right? So let's go to the 5 minute. Okay, cool. So entry. Now for better understanding, let's look at the 1 minute and get an understanding of how this works. Okay, cool. So we take our entry. This is literally like a trade of 1 or 2 days ago. It was mentioning how price at target 1, this is usually where price can pause or retest very early. Comes out of target 1, what does it do? It tests, it reversed. It didn't quite hit our stops, but it did start to reverse. Then it eventually dropped. Target 2, this is where Mamba starts to take out. This is where you want to start trailing stops. Boom, it comes all the way down. And in this case, this trade hit a target 5. But what does it say about target 5? Usually the max move in an exhaustion zone rarely hits clean, but if it does, usually signals end of the move. What has it signaled? The end of a move. It genuinely got it right. In this case, yeah. Let's see some more. Okay, cool. Entry zone. Let's look at this trade. So this trade comes up, literally on the line, hits the 0.688 level, starts to retrace, again bounces back up. TP2, where Mamba usually takes out, a lot of resistance here. Eventually comes up to TP3. This is where we really want to have tight stops if we are trailing, and then it starts to reverse. Okay, cool. That's one. We'll do one more. I'm not cherry picking these. This is just like the past week. Let's look at this. Let's look at these trades here. Right, boom. Okay, we'll do this example as well. This is the last one. But boom, we take our entry, comes down, price reacts. What did it say about TP1? This is usually where price pauses or retests. What's it done? It's literally paused and retest. It's literally paused, retest, rejected off of this first TP zone, like literally to the level. It's like pretty ridiculous. And then eventually, throughout the day, it has eventually come out, but we don't trade late into the session anyway, so we wouldn't have taken this continuational trade. Now, boys, take this with a grain of salt, take this with a pinch of salt. This is just like a little bit of information that I've got on my own, studied on my own. So, like, this isn't something that Mamba said or come out vocally and talked about that I'm aware of. This is just me doing my own research. But this does help me, and now I'm going through the charts and looking at, okay, cool, paying attention to the zone areas and getting a better understanding of each level and take profit and understanding why things do what they do at certain points. It does really, really help. So yeah, I thought I'd just leave that one in this video today.
Just a little recap of this week, just for NASDAQ in particular. My goodness, 1 to 5, 1 to 5, 1 to 2.3. US 30. I think they ended up being a 1 to 5 realistically, but a 1 to 3 at least. So beautiful, beautiful trades. It's 4 wins, 1 loss. Massive, massive week. Congratulations for everyone who passed funded accounts and made a bunch of money. Let's come back next week and let's get active again, baby.